Hey, today we're going to talk about a game called Samurai Spirit, which is kind of loosely based on the old Japanese movie Seven Samurai. In this game, we play seven samurai, if you're playing with 7 players, and we're trying to defend a small village against raiders who are coming in to burn down barricades and destroy the housesteads and kill the families of the villagers that live there. And it's our job as these samurai heroes, with the help of our warrior spirit animals, to defeat these raiders and defend against them and protect the people of this small village. And we're going to show you how to do that and look at the mechanics, and then you'll get to watch us play some of the game before we talk about it. Each player is going to randomly get one of these samurai tiles, and this gives you your basic information about your character. And on the reverse side, you have a version of your character that's embraced with his spirit animal and has taken on these anthropomorphic qualities as this animal. And your stats become significantly better, but you're much closer to dying, so you also have to be really careful when you become super powerful as an animal. Each player is also going to get one of these little red samurai meeples. One player will get the start player token, and you're going to start by taking this deck of cards that's made up of the 1 through 4 characters. See, they all have this big number on them, and you'll take just the ones that have 1 through 4 on them, shuffle those up, and you're going to deal 7 for each player into one deck, and then you'll set the others aside. You'll also want to have a stack of the 5s and a stack of the 6s nearby, because you'll need those later in the game. There are also tiles for the different abilities that the samurai have, and you'll want each character to have their ability tile. And then you'll take the various tiles for the board and set it up. So let's take a look at how that looks. Okay, so this is the way that your board is going to look for setup. Over here you'll have your stack of raider cards that you're dealing with, the 7 that you set aside for each of the players in the game. It's worth noting that I'm talking about normal difficulty setup right now. We'll talk about the other difficulties after we finish talking about the mechanics of the game. So you'll have your deck of raider cards that you've set aside, and then you have this village that's destroyed, and we're going to take some tokens here and set them up. The first thing are these little barricade tokens that look like fences. You get 1 of these for each player in the game, plus 2 on normal difficulty. So if we're setting up a 4-player game, here we've got 6 of these barricade tokens to protect our village. We also have these 6 farmsteads, and on the back side, each of them has a different penalty, which doesn't matter to us in normal difficulty, but it will in higher difficulties. So we shuffle these up, and we place them on the board. So we have our 6 little farmsteads. And then, finally, we have 3 family tokens, and these each have a bonus on the back side that let us do different things when we get to the end of a round. So we shuffle these up, and we place them on these 3 spots for our family tokens. And now we've got our game all set up to play. Here we have our samurai board. So the first thing you're going to do is take your red samurai meeple and you're going to put it up here at 0. Up here at the top you have your special ability that you can use, and you get this token version of it that you can use to support other players as an action. So on your turn, you can take different actions. The one that you're probably most commonly going to be taking is fight. And when you take the fight action, you're going to draw one of the raider cards, from next to the board. So from this deck of cards that we were talking about. And you're going to reveal it. So this card has a lot of information on it. The first part here is this 2. This is its combat value. So we're going to add this over here and bring our meeple down to 2. As we fight more and more people, this number is going to slowly move down. And if you ever land it on exactly the number that's at the bottom of your track, in this case a 9, you then get to activate your special ability at the bottom of your board, your Ki ability. And in this case, this is really good because you're going to discard the top 2 cards of the Raider deck. So the top 2 cards over here would just move directly to the discard pile and you won't have to deal with them, which is great. But you have to get all the way to 9 for that to happen. So you're going to have to fight a few different guys. Now we could also instead defend against him. Over here on this side of it, we have an icon that matches up with this icon here. And you want to successfully defend against each of these 3 things on your turn. The first one here at the top is defending to protect yourself. If you don't match this one, you're going to take a wound at the end of the round. And then the next one down is defending a homestead. So you protect one of the homesteads from being destroyed. And then this one is defending one of the families. So you protect one of the families from being killed. Any of these that you fail on is going to cause you to take a penalty. So let's take a look at the homestead and the family on the main board real quick. So when we fail to resolve these 3 defense icons on the side of our board, for each samurai that fails, we need to go through that sequence and take care of things here on the board. So the first thing that we need to look at is whether or not you get wounded. The second thing down is homesteads. So if you failed to defend a homestead, then we're going to look at this board and pick one of these tokens at random, but they're all face down, so we don't know what's on the other side. And we're going to pick one to flip over, and that's the one that's destroyed. In a normal or an easy difficulty game, this icon on the back doesn't mean anything to you, but if we're playing hard or heroic, we're going to take this penalty, and this one is you burn down another homestead. So one of the other homesteads has also been burnt down because this one was lost. So let's flip this one over, and it's burned down a barricade. So there's this big blaze that's going through the village, so we're also going to lose this barricade. And that means that all 3 of these tokens were lost because one samurai didn't defend a homestead. The next one down, the third one, is whether or not you've defended these families. And families are by far your most precious commodity because you only have 3 of them, and they give you these bonuses at the end of each round. So if we haven't defended families, then we're going to have to come and select one of these, and it's out of the game. So we lost the ability to heal wounds, which is pretty bad. So just because one samurai didn't defend against 2 things, we've lost both of those. It's worth noting that with this one, destroy a barricade, anytime you have to destroy a barricade, if there aren't any barricades left, you have to destroy another homestead. So barricades are a really good defense system against this because a lot of things cause barricades to burn down. And if you start running out of barricades, then all of a sudden you're going to run out of homesteads pretty quick. See, this one we flipped over is also destroy a homestead, so we've got to destroy this, and somebody got wounded. So in a situation where we didn't have any barricades with this first one that got destroyed, we lost 4 homesteads and someone took a wound because one samurai failed in their duty to protect these villagers. So barricades are pretty important to keep in play. So if we go ahead and fight this guy, we move our red meeple down to 2, because that's where we're at total. At the bottom left-hand corner of the cards, any icons that are there would be resolved at the start of our next round if we have cards here. But this guy's ability is to ignore 2, 4, and 6. So this card won't have that happen for this samurai, but if it were someone else, it would. And this icon is particularly bad, because this one means that you'll take the top card off the Raider deck and move it to the Intruder deck. And we'll talk about the Intruder deck in a little bit. On our next round, we get to ignore this symbol, because we ignore 2s and 4s and 6s. And we decide to fight again. So we have a 4. And in the same way, we'll be able to ignore this symbol, but this would mean that we would burn down one of our barricades at the start of every round for one of the other samurai. So these symbols can be really bad for you until you cover them up with the new card. See, once this is covered up, this symbol is invisible, so it won't happen every turn. But we're ignoring them because we ignore even numbers as this character. We fight again. And we've got a 2. So we came down to 6 with our 4, and then we came down to 8. And then 1 brings us to 9. And that means that we get to use our special Ki ability. And this character's ability is that we discard the top 2 cards of the Raider deck, which is great. And then for all samurai, you're going to discard whatever the top card is, this one that's at the top of your visible stack. So that means you're going to move back to 8, and this card moves to the discard pile. And then on our next turn, if we fight, this card would push us past 9, so we go into 10, which causes us to be disabled for the turn. So you don't want to move past your track here, because then you can't contribute to the fight anymore for the rest of the round. So this card we would put over here in our defend one of the homesteads stack. And here we'll get to defend one of the families, but this time we can't put another one here where the homestead is, so this comes here and we move past the end of our track. And we are eliminated from the round. And we also immediately burn down one of the barriers, which is signified by this little fire symbol here at the end of your track. Some cards, like this one, will cause you to take wounds, or the penalties on some of the homesteads will cause you to take wounds. So you get these wound tokens. And if you ever get 2 wound tokens, then your character flips over and you become this anthropomorphic animal version of yourself that has embraced their animal nature, and you become super powerful. Your Ki track is way longer because now you can fight up to 12 points worth of guys as this character. And his Ki power is also much more powerful, because anytime you get to activate it, you're going to discard 3 cards instead of the 2 cards that are on the other side of this. So it's really potent to move to this side. But if you ever take 2 wounds on this side, the game immediately ends and everyone loses. So you really don't want to flip to this side, because you can take wounds really easily if you have a card that comes out and you just can't deal with getting rid of that card. So it's very dangerous to be on your animal side, but you're also much more powerful when you're over here. So the other actions you can take, rather than fighting, since right now, if we don't draw one of this symbol and we don't draw a 1, you're probably going to get knocked off the end of your track because you're at 8 here with this character. So you might want to take your assist action, which is the second of the 3 types of actions you can take. And when you take an assist action, you'll take this token that has your power on it, and you give it to one of the other samurai, so they'll be able to use your power on their turn. And then at the end of their turn, it comes back to you. So the last of the 3 actions you can take is passing. And if you pass, you just lay your meeple down here at 8, because that's where you are right now, and you're effectively out of the round. You don't get to do anything else. But you didn't get knocked off the end of your track, so you don't lose a barricade, and you aren't able to assist anymore. But if you had a really bad symbol here at the top, so say, we had this 2 at the top, where a card would be moving into the intruder deck every turn at the start of your round, you'd probably want to pass at this point, so that you aren't constantly contributing to the intruder deck, and you don't get eliminated and cause one of the barricades to get destroyed if whatever card you happen to draw off the top of the deck isn't a 1 or have this symbol, because those are the only things that you can deal with as this character with these cards in play right now. Okay, so here we are at the end of a round, and most of the cards have gone out to different players' boards. We have one card that's sitting over here in the discard pile, and these leftover cards come over here to this intruder place, and we resolve the special abilities of the families that are still alive. And in this example, we have all 3. So this first one lets us discard the top card of the intruder stack. So we aren't going to have to deal with whatever this is. This next one of us loses a wound. So we get to heal up a little bit. And then this one lets us rebuild a barricade. So one of our barricades comes back. And then, with whatever's left, we're going to reveal these to see if we have any fire in the bottom right-hand corner of the card. This one doesn't, and then this one does. So what this fire means is that one of our barricades gets destroyed. So we discard that, and we go ahead and that finishes off our round, so these move into the discard. We take all of the cards from different players' boards, and we put those into our discard pile too. It's the end of the first round, so we're going to add a 5 for each player. So we just randomly select some 5s without looking to see what their special powers are or anything. So we've got these 4 5s, and they go into our discard pile. If this is the end of the second round, we're going to take 6s instead. So for our 4-player game, here are 4 6s, and we don't look at what any of them have. We just stick them right on top of our discard pile. Now we're going to shuffle this up, and it moves over here to be our new Raider pile, and we begin the round in just the same way, with revealing a card and continuing around with fighting and defending against these different raiders trying to protect this village. The game ends if at any point any samurai has taken a 4th wound. The game just immediately ends and you lose. If at any point you've lost the 1/3 of your family tokens, you lose. And if all of the homesteads are burned down, you lose. You win the game if you make it to the end of the 3rd round and you have at least 1 family, 1 homestead, and all the samurai are still alive. In higher difficulty modes, we're going to have some rule changes, like using the penalties that are on the backs of the homestead tokens. Like this one is, a family dies. So you flip this over, and if you only had 1 family left, the game just ends. So the penalties that are on the backs of these tokens are a really big penalty to the game. The other things that change are the number of barricade tokens. For easy mode, you'll get the number of players +3. In normal, it's +2. In hard, it's +1. And in heroic, it's just equal to the number of players. And in heroic mode, you don't get the bonuses that are on the backs of the family tiles. So you don't get to add new barricades or remove cards from the intruder deck or heal wounds. So the game ramps up in difficulty pretty well. And on the easier mode of it, it's really easy if you have all of the barricades in place and you're also getting the bonuses. It becomes a fairly easy and family-friendly game. In the 2-player game, you each are playing one samurai, so you'd have your 2 characters. For all the other samurai, you'll take their little token versions of their powers, and you set those out in the middle of the table. At the beginning of your round, before you do anything else, you can choose to take as many of those as you want, but they're only usable once per game. So you have to be really careful about when you decide to take the ability to ignore the odd-numbered cards penalties that are on the side of your board. You know, if you're going to be taking a wound from one of those cards and that would cause you to lose the game, you need to take that before you take the wound. But then someone else can't use it later. So you always need to be cautious about when you choose to take the extra abilities. But they can be a big game changer. You can also play this game solo. If you do, you use the 2-player rules with using these tokens. And if you do, you play the game with 2 to 3 samurai by yourself. So, I'm going to fight. Fight this 2. And I'll use my ability to fight a second time.
I guess you're going to get wounded if you don't move them over there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to protect that China doll.
Okay. Fight. I can put this guy over here.
Because he's even.
He's even. I'll just ignore that wound thing.
Yep.
Pew.
So
fight.
So if you put him there at the start of your next turn, he will burn down a barricade.
Oh, how about
put him over there, then we don't have to worry about that.
Yep.
Okay. He kind of looks like a girl.
Said the character with the long ponytail.
It's a braid.
Yeah.
And it's probably because of my monkey nature.
Fight him.
Fight
because I'm just going to cover him up.
Oh!
Well,
That backfired.
I think it's okay. We can lose a barricade, because we'll get one back, probably.
Had it with your shenanigans. Cuccio. Cavalier attitude towards barricades. I'm gonna put this guy over here because I can ignore even numbers.
It's good.
I'm gonna have a China hat.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just light it up. Because the cards don't matter. I mean, you can pull your other one out and put it...
Yeah, that's what I was like, that looks weird. It's because you do that.
Stack them up. Yeah. Okay. Fight time! Fighting times! Oh, one of our barricades got burnt down. I'll protect... I'll fight against that. I don't remember what the...
Probably put a card on top of the invader deck.
But I'm probably gonna... Uh-oh. Both of them had ninja masks, so that was gonna happen anyway.
Yeah, it just means that at the start of your turn, whatever the top card of the deck is just goes unseen to the top of the intruder stack.
Okay.
Yes, it's a ninja.
Yep.
I'm gonna put him here and key-eye that fool! So get that junk out of here. Oh, I guess that's the discard pile there, sorry. And I immediately drop the 2 cards off the top of the deck into the discard pile.
Nice.
That's my turn.
And then your thing
is
moves back down. Yep.
Get some people over on my left.
What's
though.
the...
Okay, so it's a 3?
Yeah.
So you can make him fight it? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can give it to Sean, and then he'll just key eye again.
Pass that fool to me. Key eye!
1, 2.
1, 2. Teamwork. I know it feels like you didn't do anything because you like drew a card and then handed it to me. I was like, I got this.
So what's this symbol mean?
It's gonna be, is it left or right?
Right.
Sitting to the right, a samurai draws a raider card and adds it to the combat line. So on your turn, at the start of your turn,
She adds
would
one.
She'll have to
card.
add 1 to her
Yeah.
battle line.
Okay.
But she doesn't have any in her battle line, so that's not like a big deal.
Yeah.
And plus, you've already got a house card, so you can't.
Yeah,
Put
you
it
can't
on
do
the
anything
side
else with it anyway. Alright, I'm gonna fight that guy. Fight that
I
stack.
could do that.
Yeah, I was like looking. Your thing is to put a card under the raider stack and draw a new card if you wanted to, but I don't think.
It seems
I think
like
that's
as good
okay,
of a
yeah.
place to a good of a thing to do.
So, I add 1 to the...
Way to go, Kikachu Yobo.
That's how I roll. Alright, I'm gonna fight. Oh, well, that guy's too powerful for me to fight. Oh, no!
Well,
Oh, no! Well,
you just burned down the barricade, didn't you?
I did.
You're the worst.
Pretty bad. All right. As long as there's a good chance I can do something with this. 1. I am going to put this guy over here. Take care of that so we don't burn down into their house at the end of the round.
Since I'm already losing us a
Yeah.
house.
Oh, I have to put him up here on my... Or I could hand him to you. No.
If he's an odd number, you can hand him to me or Josh.
Do you want him?
I don't want him now.
I.
You can put him here.
Yeah, you can.
Oh.
do
You
that.
can put him there. In
Yeah,
fact.
protect the house. Since I'm failing at that.
Yep. All right.
Oh, battle line.
Yep, start of the
So
turn
this guy goes
into her battle line.
into your
Aw,
battle
I
line.
take a wound.
That's not a wound.
It's,
No. I lose a friend.
you won't be able to do the support action on your turn.
Okay.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
adjust that accordingly. So you
Not
can't
a
give your
huge deal.
token to
That's
anyone.
not a big deal at all.
Okay.
What is?
That
I
means
can't
you
move
can't
him.
defend.
Can't put things
So you
on
won't,
this side.
yeah, so you
Okay.
won't be able to defend a family until that gets covered up.
Not that you can do anything else.
Yeah,
I
you
can't-
can't do anything.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And it seems like that would be one that's good to have at
Yeah,
the end,
that's
rather
probably
than
that's a good choice to stick it on the bottom and fight whatever the next thing is. Hopefully,
Well,
it's a family you can protect.
Yep.
I'm unconscious.
Yep. Yes, you are. Pew! Key eye that fool.
Man, you're so good at key eyes.
Discard those 2 cards.
I bet I know what that last card is.
Seems likely.
Oh, my key eye backfired. I didn't protect the people. Oh, pass that to me probably.
Do you want it?
Yeah, I do, because I'm going to put it up here.
Okay.
Protect yourself. Okay, so the round ends.
Round ends.
If you didn't get a little hat or whatever, like me, you get a wound. Because I suck.
It's just you.
Houses. I'm the only
It's
one who
just
didn't
you.
protect a house. So
We're going to get penalized with whatever that is for playing on hard, so somebody gets a wound. We could just say it's you because your blunders caused that, or we could give it to anyone. Probably best to distribute it to somebody. So either Josh or me, because we have... I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'll take it.
be wounded.
And we get the... Oh, and then the dull things happen, so...
Yep. Does that happen after you failed to protect a family?
Yeah.
Yeah. So pick one of those that gets
Murdered.
because of your inattention to detail.
Because you were too busy kicking butt.
Yep. Alright, so that doesn't happen. But the other two things will happen. So somebody gets to remove a wound, and we get to build up a barricade.
Yay!
So I'll remove my wound that you just gave me.
Seems legitimate.
And the barricade goes up.
Then I shuffled them around so that...
Okay, now we deal with the intruder stack,
Okay.
which is this guy. Didn't have any flames, so nothing happened.
Yep, no
Okay.
burning.
No burning. Add some 5s.
That's what I'm doing.
Everybody
One for
take
each
your cards and
player.
put them back in here.
2, 3, 4. 4 5s have been added to this stack.
Reset your tracks to 0. And there we go. Well, we are 1/3 of the way through and only managed to kill one of 3 families and burn down a house. So as long as we keep
This
4 more
rate
houses,
stuff.
yeah.
We have to actually be better
We have
about
to do better.
families.
Just slightly better about family.
It's somehow my fault for being too good.
You were just so obsessed
I just-
with the key
I
eye.
just burned through the deck and yeah. Okay.
All right.
Well, now there are more cards, so
Yep, there are 4 more cards.
there you go.
Okay.
I'm gonna fight.
Are you gonna double fight?
Yeah, I'm gonna double fight. I'll go ahead and protect a family so that I'm not whatever. Let's see, what's your name?
Goro Bay.
So I'm not Gorabe over there. Oh, well,
Way to go.
yep. Should have made the reverse choice there.
Die. Should you have?
Yeah, probably. Just that I'd have more room on my track over here.
Yeah. I suppose.
I have to play it, don't I?
You have to. You could
You have
give
to
it
put it on one
to
side or the other. Oh yeah, or you could give it to...
one of us.
One of your
but
neighbors.
that's not really better
Okay, that's fine.
at this point.
I'll just burn down a house or thing.
That's a barricade. Yeah, at the start of your next turn.
Why are you so weak, Daisuke? Like your battle line is more than half full. It's just that one dude.
Look, the monkey. I like him a bear.
Oh, support! So take the top card of the deck and put it in the invader stack.
Okay.
Okay. So... I'm gonna fight. And then... Oh, I can put this 5 on the bottom, which is gonna happen. Thanks for the assist!
Go ahead and give him his token back.
So there's a 5 sitting on the bottom, guys. Pro tip. And it's a family, so... You know, if we can kind of figure out who that's going to be at some point... Oh, I took a wound at the start of my turn because of this guy, which means I flipped over. So I'm a tiger!
Wow.
Let's see.
You gonna double fight?
Yeah, I'm gonna double fight. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then I don't want to take another wound, so I'm putting that guy there. It's worth noting, Bonnie, since you and I are burning down barricades with abandon. If we ever can't burn down a barricade, we burn down a house.
Okay.
Now you burn down a barricade.
Burn!
Sacrifices must be made. I think I'm gonna put this over here and protect the house.
protect himself.
I mean, that seems
It seems wise.
like the way to go. Maybe I'm wrong
I
about
don't know.
that, but
Well, I burned down a barricade. This guy won't protect a barricade, but I mean, it's the only thing I can do with him anyway.
And double fight.
Yeah. Hopefully cover up that barricade loss. Oh man.
Put you one short of your key eye.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, I mean, that's what I have to do, so...
Oh,
yeah. I don't have any place else you can
you're
go.
at 12.
2, 3, 4, 5, yep. Okay.
The worst Kikuchiyo, Bado. I'm also thinking about protecting myself.
And I can't support people? Oh, no.
I mean, you could support.
You can't.
I can't support.
No, you can't. Oh, you're done.
Yeah.
Um,
I have to hope my next thing is protecting me from a wound and... or a 1.
so at the start of your turn, a barricade burns down.
What?
You guys didn't
This is
cover
that
that
guy.
up.
Because you didn't cover that guy up?
Oh no! Oh no! These suck.
Yeah. But you protected a family, but we will lose another barricade.
Either way, we lose a barricade.
Yeah,
It's true.
So I might as well protect the family.
yeah,
Seems true.
that does seem true.
And since
Since
the
that
other
would
one would
kill you,
kill you and
burn a
cause you to burn
barricade.
down a barricade. Oh, that's my 1. I needed it to Ki.
Well,
Alright. Fight! Oh, it's a 1! Oh, I Ki. Okay, so 2 people get to remove the bottom card from their battle line. So I'm gonna choose Bonnie
Bonnie.
over there to remove that
Yeah.
5. And then I guess
You
can I
could
choose
remove
myself
some
to remove
Yes.
this 5? Oh
Yeah.
man, I do that. And then I go
Back
back
to 7.
to 7, which puts me back in this game. Oh man. This is the discard pile that's face down for some reason.
yeah, it shouldn't be face down.
Sorry, that wasn't
It's okay. And then I fight again,
nerds.
which is a 3. 1, 2, 3. And will cause me to take a wound, which is going to suck.
If you're good at anything, it's sucking.
Pretty good at it.
I might want to protect a house while I can, so that we're
Probably
all
true.
doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, right now we're just going to lose because I'll die.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
All
Yep.
right. So that's no.
That means you can't put guys over here.
But you can pass that to your left or right if you wanted to. Oh, there you go.
That's actually fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Since I don't have any places left over there anyway.
Yeah, that's good.
That's what I was going for.
If you don't want that wound, you can put it on the bottom of the deck.
That's what I'm deciding.
And there's a 5 under the deck right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a 5 on the bottom right now.
I think I'd rather not have that. Maybe this will be worse, though.
It might.
Not
pretty bad.
particularly worse.
And you're still getting wounds.
I mean,
Oh, I
just
could have.
differently bad.
I could have
really.
defended myself against a wound with that guy.
Well, you take a wound,
Yep.
but you would have been overwhelmed by him.
Well, I would have put him here,
Yeah.
but then I would have died from this guy, and we would have lost. So,
Yeah.
well, that has to go there, I guess, so that I don't just die.
Remember, you could just pass.
Yeah,
Okay.
but then I'll just die.
Yep.
So, like, I have to draw whatever that symbol at the top is.
So what's the ninja?
You're gonna take
You
the
should-
top card off the deck
yeah.
and put it in the invader.
Yeah.
You should pass that to Josh so he
You
key eyes.
can't.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
a
2,
two.
so he can't.
Yeah.
Josh takes a wound.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 2! Oh. That doesn't let you key eye.
No.
And it was my symbol again! No. We're gonna lose. It's about to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes to the top of that stack.
We're at 9 now.
Yeah.
And then... Yeah, we resolved this before resolving those, so...
So you gotta
I
pass.
have to draw one, because otherwise at the end I lose.
Yeah.
We just lose, so I have to draw the card.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have that symbol, so we lose. A barricade gets burned down, and then at the start of my turn we lose. Or at the end of the round we lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking like I was going to pass you my 2, 4, 6, but doesn't matter. Alright, well. Samurai Spirit!
Woo!
Way to go, Pikachu Padu.
Do you have the samurai spirit?
Maybe? I feel like this game... I don't know if it's sort of hampered by its own production value more than anything else. It feels like it should be more epic than it is.
Sure.
Based on the theme. This is a designer who's well known for tackling a variety of interesting themes and also a variety of mechanics and kind of sticking them together. And this one is not that interesting to me. I think I'm really interested in the theme. I like the source material. I don't feel like this game captures that theme or uses its source material to the best of its ability. I think it could be better.
Sure. I feel like... I feel the same in a lot of ways. I like the simplicity of the gameplay in this, but I think that's also a problem for it, because I don't feel like I'm doing very much on my turn, because on your turn you have the actions, fight or support or pass and be out of the round, and you're almost always going to be choosing fight, it seems like. And then you draw the one card, and if it doesn't fall within the very narrow spectrum of your special ability, the number of points that you have left on the right-hand side of your character card, or one of the 3 slots on the left-hand side of your character card, you're screwed. Like, there's no other choice you can make at that point. And it just feels really limiting. It doesn't feel like I'm making decisions on my turn, that I just pick up a card and I put it where I can put it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a big weakness for it.
Yeah. The game has just beautiful artwork,
Mhm.
and component quality is nice. I'm annoyed by the board being...
So tiny.
Yeah, again, it seems like it should be a really epic thing, but the board is the size of this box.
Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, would you be really angry if this box was larger just because they wanted to use a larger board?
I feel like the game needs to be bigger in more ways than just... it needs to be more impressive in terms of both... presentation, not artwork. The artwork is great.
I think the
but
artwork is great too.
the component presentation and the mechanics, as it's expanding on what you just said, you need more going on for it to be really viable as a game that draws my attention at all.
Okay.
So, like, if it had a bigger board, you would need to have more things going on to justify having a bigger board.
Sure.
At its core, this is not a board game, it's a card game that happens to have a board
That's
there.
Just there, yeah. It doesn't really do anything.
At its core, you don't even need the tiles for the characters. They could also be cards.
Yeah.
And it's a mechanic of draw a card and either put it on the left or right of you, and that's it. And keep doing that.
Or assist somebody else, which you're very rarely going to do, it seems like to me.
I mean, in my multiple plays of the game, it's like the support ability has never been that useful.
Yeah.
I mean,
There are times when it's really handy, but most of the time
if you had the full complement of players and all the abilities out there, and you're like, okay, we need your ability to do this thing.
Yeah.
Maybe. But if you're playing with fewer than that, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen that much.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things that annoys me, and it's kind of a nitpicky thing, but I don't understand why there aren't more of the tokens. Because, like, there are only 3 of the
For
family tokens,
randomization.
so that you have different abilities there, so that you don't know what you have, and you don't know what you could potentially be losing. I think it would be nice if this was a game where, you know, you had however many families out there, and you had, 2 or 3 times that many in the box. And then after every round, maybe you'd shuffle one of them out and replace it so that you never knew which powers you were going to have each round.
Or even just having, for replay value, having different tokens that you'd use. And then this game is these are the ones you have out. But
Yeah.
You're right, it's strange that there are 3 of them and it has you shuffle those 3 tokens.
Yeah, so that you don't know which one you're going to discard when you lose your first family. And then the same thing with the homesteads, that there's only 6 of those. And it seems like for replayability, that should have been a thing.
Yeah. I don't know in the modern game design market if the plan was to make an expansion for it down the road. There's like a promo card and that's it. I don't think that an expansion would fix this game. I think that at its core, I don't really have any interest in what is happening mechanically, because it is kind of just random chance of draw a card and deal with it. Draw another card, deal with it. You can't draw more cards because you took too many cards.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of strategic choices happening.
I agree.
And, ultimately I just don't... This is the only game I've played by this designer that I don't like.
Yeah, the obvious comparison here, because it's the same designer and almost the same theme, is Ghost Stories, where you are making a lot of decisions, and you have the same kind of element of you draw a card, and then it goes somewhere, and you have to resolve that, but you still have a lot of movement and figuring out where you're going, and I guess... When I play this, I just wish that it was Ghost Stories.
Yeah.
That it had, that the homesteads were giving me abilities and they were out there and you were moving from one homestead to another to defend them from the raiders, and there were families there, and as you lost them, you lost powers and took penalties. I wish that that's what this was, and it just falls short because it isn't.
Right.
And I don't know if I hadn't played Ghost Stories, if I would feel quite the same way. But
regardless,
I think this would still fall short for me.
Since they are both cooperative games with that sort of Asian beat 'em up theme, I would tell people go play Ghost Stories instead.
Yeah.
Like, just, I have no problem recommending that game. The only difference is, like, cost barrier. Like, this one is smaller, so it costs marginally less than Ghost Stories.
And number of players. Like, if you really needed a game that played up to 7...
I'd say get 7 Wonders. Which is not cooperative, but...
if you really want
it's the other game by this
cooperative,
designer.
yes, a cooperative 7-player game that was about, Asian beat 'em up, samurai fighting, then this is your game.
I guess.
But, I would certainly tell people to look at Ghost Stories first.
One more quick thing. The rulebook.
Oh, I almost forgot to talk about this.
The font on the rulebook is so small, and there's no logical reason for it.
The first time that I played this, you handed me the rulebook, and you were like, here, set it up, and I looked at it, I was like, I can't read this text, and just, handed it back to you.
Right, so for the explanation, I had to explain the game to you so you could explain the game.
Yeah.
Games that come in smaller boxes all the time have much more legible...
Yeah, it's just a really weird choice, and I don't know why they thought that the text should be that tiny in this rulebook. Any other thoughts, or do you want to move on to giving it a rating?
I don't... Wait, what rating would you give it?
I'd probably give it a 5.75, somewhere in there.
I am honestly down by a 4.
Really? Down to a 4?
There's no... After playing it 3 times, I have no interest in playing it again. Really. I would... If someone said, let's play this, I would probably say, can we please play something else? And that's where I'd be with that.
Really? Interesting.
Kind of play it if coerced to do so. But there is just so little happening strategically, I feel, that I don't know why I would choose to play this game.
Sure. I guess on my end, why I'd rate it higher than you, I like the artwork a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't find it painful to play. It's simple, and it's really easy for me to tell somebody this is what you do on your turn. This is how the game plays. And I can play it, and I'm always curious if I just haven't figured out something about it that makes it, because it's rated really well.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe there's something that I'm just missing about it that would, change my opinion, and all of a sudden I'd be like, oh wow, this game is really good. So I guess my rating is optimistic.
I mean, that's how I felt. Knowing the designer and knowing where it was ranked online, I certainly felt like it probably would be better if I played with more people, and I wanted to play it again, and I played it again, and I played it a third time, and I'm at the point now where I am just ready to give up on it. So I don't think it's painful to play, I just think it's boring. And a game that's about samurai defending a village should not be boring.
Yeah, for sure.
So
okay, I think that's fair. You may have swayed me to come down in my rating toward your 4.
It's not, I'm not trying to make you come down in your rating.
No, you make good arguments. I guess I'm just still optimistic about it and want it to be better, and it probably isn't as good as I want it to be.
Well, you can just play it again right now.
True, let's do it right now.
By yourself.
Wow. Are there even solo rules? Yeah, there are. There are solo rules.
You play the 2-player game, but by yourself.
Because you don't even have one friend to play Samurai Spirit with.
Yep.
So there you go. Samurai Spirit. Probably better to play Ghost Stories.